Hello everybody, welcome back. I am Kate Rebel, this is Kate Rebel's Realm, and we are here for part 2 of the North Throne faction. I feel like the legendary heroes just have the best stories, obviously, as they should. But we'll see if they're able to keep that up, because we did have some 2 stars that are pretty good stories. So let's get into it. So mini little outfit change. I forgot to do Glacius in the last video and I filmed them both at the same time. So, hey, sorry Glacius, I missed you, I didn't see your face. Glacius, Winter's Reaper. As the eldest ice elemental, Glacius predates the very cradle of human civilization, enshrouded in frost's embrace. A heart of winter. The north would have fallen long ago were it not for him. Levin. Fire, wind, wood, earth, ice. These are but a few of the elements most commonly known throughout Taya, and each is aligned with a proxy of sorts. These are the elementals, mysterious entities speculated to be the creation of forces beyond comprehension, whose very existence forces stability upon the realm. Among these mystifying beings is Glacius, an ice elemental whose existence stretches back eons, long before the rise of mortal beings. Bound to the frigid northern reaches, Glacius stands as an obstacle against the encroachment of chaos. His essence is cold and unforgiving as the frost of which his marrow is comprised. While Glacius roams the icy north, other elementals hold dominion over the varied landscapes of Taya, from the fiery pits of volcanoes to the tranquil depths of the Great Lakes. Each elemental serves as a representative of their respective domains. In his timeless vigil, Glacius has culled many who sought dominance over the north, none more formidable than the frost dragons that roam the icy wastes. Yet amidst the endless battle for supremacy, he found an unlikely ally in Imrit, one of the most formidable dragons to ever grace the tundra. Together they formed an uneasy alliance, their efforts ensuring equilibrium. Though Glacius is devoid of emotion and even rational thought as we know it, his actions are guided by an innate understanding of the natural order. He possesses a true mind of winter. His alien intellect is sharp and flurrying as a blizzard. To him there is no room for sentiment or hesitation. He acts on the instinctual elements of which he is comprised. Through countless cycles of frost and thaw, Glacius remains an enduring symbol of the primordial forces that shape the land of Taya. His ice-cold presence ensures order and entropy in the heart of the northern wilderness. He's with Imrit! That's so cool! I have to do a separate video with Imrit and Ajax, I think. Very, very, very last after I do all of the legendaries. They'll be the last 2. So yeah, I'm happy that I added this one in. And back to regular scheduled programming. We're starting today with Crodor, and we had him in Draga's story. And they're not in the same faction, which is kind of crazy because I feel like they had a lot of bonding. But I guess they just went their separate ways after the end of the day. But he definitely opened her eyes to some beauty in the world. So I'm excited to see what this gentle giant has to say. Despite the terrifying shadow cast by his gigantic body, his heart is pumping with warmth and kindness. Crodor. The Glacial Guardian. We're going to do ASMR for Crodor at this moment because I feel like it. He may be bigger than a boulder, but that one's quieter than morning snow. Elder of the North Throne. To come across an ogre in the wild is to know true fear. For even the most seasoned explorers venturing into Taya's frozen northlands, the sight of giant clad in hides and bones is both awe-inspiring and deeply terrifying. Crodor, the Glacial Guardian, had a similar effect on the Northmen who first met him. While hunting, a group of rangers stationed at one of the North Throne's most remote outposts was beset by an unexpected blizzard. They sought shelter from a storm in a frozen cave where they lucked upon a roaring fire and stores of dried venison. Thanking their gods, the rangers ate and rested to their heart's content. But as the sun sank and their fire guttered out, the rangers realized that their luck had run out. Darkness settled over the mouth of the cave as its inhabitant returned. Fearing for their lives, the rangers drew their weapons, knowing full well that they stood no chance against the gargantuan ogre that towered before them. But instead of raising his club, The ogre lumbered to the fire and began to tend to the flame, ignoring his wary company. Surprised, the rangers lowered their weapons as the ogre offered them a portion of the fish he'd brought back from his day's journey. Slowly, the rangers came to realize that the ogre meant them no harm, and so began an enduring friendship between the North Throne's rangers and Crodor, a lone ogre content to share his camp and fire in exchange for stories, company, and the occasional flagon of mead. Rangers stationed in the north have come to rely on Crodor's knowledge of the area and hospitality to expand their operations. In the harsh lands of the frozen north, unlikely allies must band together in order to survive. He's just a little guy. I like his weapon. I like that he just took a club and just got rope and put a bunch of knives all around it. Like, why did he do that? Okay, we're on to Shamir. I'm gonna attempt to do this normally. Today's a strange day. Today is very, again, hot. It's hot out. Wisdom beneath the waves. The seas owe them a great debt, though they are too benevolent to collect. Mari, daughter of the tides. Deep beneath the shimmering surface of Ty's vast oceans, where the sun's rays struggle to penetrate, a wizard grown weary of landlocked toiling found solace within an underwater realm. Shamir, the mind of the depths, had for decades sought refuge from the chaotic world above. Little did he know that his fate would intertwine with a majestic creature that would forever change his life. Fascinated by the mysterious nature of the ocean from a young age, Shamir learned spells which allowed his lungs to function on water rather than air, all while adapting to the ebb and flow of water currents. Immune with sea creatures, their ancient wisdom guiding him through the enchanted depths, and one day swam deep into uncharted territories, stumbling upon a wounded sea serpent. The creature, with scales as iridescent as the coral reefs, was in dire need of aid. Compassion stirred within the heart of the old wizard, and he used his magic to heal the serpent's wounds. Grateful for his benevolence, the serpent named Jolunger pledged his loyalty to Shamir. Jolunger possessed a rare intelligence and an innate connection to the ocean's depths. With his guidance, Shamir discovered hidden treasures and untold secrets long sequestered beneath the waves. The wizard and the sea serpent formed an unbreakable bond, becoming stalwart defenders of the ocean. Together, Shamir and Jolunger braved countless dangers that threatened the harmony of their underwater world. Malevolent creatures with dark forces sought time and again to corrupt their pristine waters. But the wizard and his serpentine companion stood as the guardians of the deep, shielding fragile ecosystems from harm. Today, Shamir, with his ancient knowledge and the formidable magic, conjures protective spells which shield the ocean's most fragile landscapes. Jolunger, with his sinuous grace and strength, swiftly dispatches any intruders who dare disturb the peace. Their combined efforts ensure that the ocean's inhabitants thrive as they were intended to. They now reside in the north, where at this moment their talents and compassion are most needed and appreciated. Well, that was pretty cute. It's funny, I think that Shamir must have gotten a buff at some point because he's a lot better now, and I actually use him in certain things, so he's not that bad. And you know what? This is a cute story. And he's friends with Mari, so how bad can he be? Valkyra, one of my favorites in the game. For all the heroes that actually got videos, hers is, I think, the best, and I'm so excited to read her story right now. To earn immortal wings. The eldest daughter of King Hars of Fort Blacklast, the story of Valkyra and how this demigod came to protect the people of Fort Blacklast has passed into local legend, a symbol of the victory of light over dark and the power of purity. Living through one of the most difficult periods in the region's history, fraught with war, plague, and famine, Valkyra led her life as a pure soul, helping others when in need. As the frost giants to the north terrorized the villages around Fort Blacklast during the War of White Night, laying siege to the land, Valkyra defended a rope bridge over a chasm, providing a route to safety in the castle, standing alone as she slew enemies with her mighty sword, Lyoskophe. When she saw the last remaining villager had made it across, she ran over the bridge to lure giants across before severing the ropes, still standing upon it before falling to her death with the frost giants. Her pure soul had created a beacon so light it's said to have briefly illuminated the darkness as the black dragon swooped down to protect Fort Blacklast, inspiring the armies of King Harz to win a hard-fought victory. It is said that when a body of pure soul dies, it attracts a spirit of Aurora. In Valkyra's case, a Valkyrie soul that had similarly fallen selflessly in battle against darkness was drawn to Valkyra's body, a fusion of two souls brought back from the dead more powerful than ever as a demigod. Her now divine spirit drove Valkyra to swear to protect the human world from darkness. However, Valkyra's humanity pushed her to defy the laws of the gods, using her demigod body to build an impregnable barrier in the far north, preventing the invasion of frost giants and protecting the people of Fort Blacklast forevermore. Subsequently punished by the gods for meddling in these affairs and forbidden from ever visiting their realm, Valkyra soars over Taya with the light glinting on her armor and her sword Lyoscophy to protect humanity and push the darkness. See, it's just good. I love her. I love her so much. It's so funny because I've been playing Watcher of Realms for, I don't think I've hit my year mark yet, but I'm really, really close. And over the winter, I played Baldur's Gate 3, and she looks like Dame Aelin. It's so crazy to me. She really reminds me of her, and that character kind of sucked. But like Valkyra, that was exactly the kind of story that I wanted. And now we're gonna go on to Nocturne because, hey, they've been too wholesome. They've been too kind and delicate lately with these legendaries. Just give me some creepers. Nocturne, a recluse not fit for this world. A legendary with like no story. Oh my gosh. Death's Embrace. Noonsis, which is his real name, is a genius from a jungle tribe and the younger brother of the priestess Nunya. He is a master of the prophetic arts that no one has been able to achieve for over a century. He broke away from his tribe due to his study of forbidden dark magic in order to grasp the power of darkness. He combines himself with a death vine and lives by sucking souls from a death lamp, which is really funny because he actually has a pretty cool video as well, I thought. Wow, that was really disappointing. On to Elder. And Elder just talked about Crodor, so hey, that's cute. The great general of Fort Blacklast and also the brother-in-arms of King Harz. Okay. Thunder of Winter. I count Elder among my most trusted advisors. Aye, he may be coarse, but his insight is illuminating as a flash of lightning. King Harz, North Frost Crown. Elder, Thunder of Winter, honed his strength among the frozen tundras of the inhospitable north. A hunter by trade, his life was changed the day he discovered a frostbitten man collapsed on a frozen pond. When huddled before a meager fire, the man introduced himself as King Hengist's heir. Elder and his men burst into laughter, but they quieted when Harz proved his lineage with a flash of a royal signet ring. Decades later, Elder thinks of the story as he patrols the frost-flaked walls of the foreboding Fort Blacklast. Once a distant vision, the fort has long served as Elder's home. He left his tribes long ago to join Harz on a journey that would take him as far as the Masoon Empire. Through countless trials, he earned Harz's trust and dedicated himself to the prince's service. As one of King Harz's valiant generals, Elder fights for the north with his storm-charged hammer. Wielding lightning and bone-crushing blows, he has faced countless foes that would threaten his home. For years, he felt as unstoppable as the elements, but his confidence has begun to wane. In the past year alone, Elder has seen threats his mind refuses to comprehend, shadows that flicker in the reflection of ice, whispering that echoes from yawning canyons in the glaciers, a corruption that seizes the very minds of men he once fought beside and twists their bodies into unrecognizable forms. Standing behind the dais in a crowded hall, Elder feels pangs of a treacherous doubt as King Harz declares that the North shall remain as it has ever been, isolated and gloriously independent. Though his loyalty remains unshaken, Elder has found himself wondering whether the North will be strong enough alone to withstand the creeping threat. Standing atop the parapets of North Blacklast, he searches the wintry sky for answers, but finds none. That's sad. he wants more. He thinks that he can make things even better than they are. But hey, he's still a lord. Don't get down on yourself, buddy. We're gonna do King Har's now, and he better have a really great story because I'm a little bit bored. Don't let me be bored, you guys. Make it exciting. A crown of ice. Ice runs through his very marrow. The north is his to rule. King Hengist. In Taya, the appeal of life in the far north is lost on many who reside in the warmer climates. Considered one of the last frontiers, its people are as hard as the ice that coats it. A people now led by King Hars, the North Frost Crown. Born to King Hengist, Har's early years were comprised of learning the principles of northern leadership, many of which he did not often agree with. Though Hengist was a protective ruler, he cared little for contact with the outside world, believing southern nations corrupt and greedy. During a particularly harsh winter, Prince Hars urged his father to open trade routes and forge alliances. The king would not hear it, forbidding his son to ride south if he ever wanted to claim his birthright of kingship. Hars's pride was wounded, having led his father's armies for years. Hengist's misguided jingoism pushed him away. Relinquishing his birthright, Hars left Fort Blacklast under cover of night, determined to connect with the outside world. In just a few years, Hars experienced more in his travels than in all the time he'd spent in the north. Possessing the charisma of a capable prince, many were instantly drawn to him, naming him a steadfast friend before long. Traveling mainly in the Dwarven Mountains and the Masoon Empire, the powerful allies he met vowed to lend him aid if ever a need should arise. It wouldn't be long before those vows were tested. Hars received word that Fort Blacklast was under siege and in dire need of aid. His father's men had suppressed a band of ice giants for weeks, but supplies were dwindling rapidly, and the fort would not hold. Appealing to the hearts of his new friends, Hars rode north with a contingency of men and dwarves, wiping out the giants in a glorious charge those of the tundra still speak of today. When the snow had settled, King Hengist embraced his prodigal son and gazed at the outsiders who had saved his kingdom. Realizing the mistake of isolating his people, Hengist abdicated his throne, declaring Hars king and welcoming their new allies. King Hars rules Fort Blacklast to this day, a beacon northern justice. He'd go on to sire a daughter. It would not be long before his heart would shatter. Well, hey, she doesn't die. What's wrong? She's fine. Do you think there's a different daughter? Because Valkyria was his eldest daughter, it said. Not only. What if he has another daughter that is evil? Well, thank you guys so much for watching the part 2 of the North Throne faction. There were some good ones in here. I have to admit, they were definitely a little bit slower, but hey, we're gonna get into the creepy ones. We all know we like the creepy ones. We need the good guys very badly. So thank you for watching. I'm Kate Rebel, this is Kate Rebel's Realm, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna get closer to you guys. I'm gonna get closer to you guys. I feel like I'm telling a spooky story right now. Those gobs are punishing her. Gooby gob. Fish he'd brought. Oh, this is so awkward. Smashing that hammer when I'm trying to tell your story. Let me tell your story, dude. He goes,